Tonight's the night for the battle of the top teams in the Ohio Valley Conference. The Eastern Illinois men's basketball team comes into this contest with a 9-game win streak, while Murray State has won 13 in a row. Both teams have undefeated conference records, but Eastern gets home court advantage in this one. Fans going to the game are encouraged to wear blue in a game titled the Blue Out. WEIU head coach Jay Spoonhour says this could be a tough game to keep his players on task.
In a game like this where there's outside distractions, there's still college kids that can get distracted. And so the reason that we've won games is because our guys have really been tough-minded and they've done their jobs.
And they didn't take anything, they didn't let anything distract them from just trying to win.
Eastern will look to get a lot of scoring out of Cornell Johnston, who recently won both the Ohio Valley Conference Player and Freshman of the Week awards. Last Saturday, he scored a season-high 22 points, and tonight's nationally televised game starts at 8. Sports Watch will have the crews all over Eastern's Lance Arena and have a full report on tomorrow's edition. That's right, the game will be on national TV with CBS anchors John Sadock and Chris Walker calling the contest. Trucks loaded with cables and lots of camera equipment pulled into town Tuesday, and earlier today I caught up with the network crew replay operator Steve Rominski. He says it might be a surprise for people for how much work goes into putting on this type of production.
I think they'd be surprised actually at how much goes into it and how much is in the truck. Like it looks big, but like you get in there, it gets pretty cramped. We have like 9 people, 10 people in there. Everyone has a specific job.
This game marks the third of a 7-game Ohio Valley Conference men's basketball package for the CBS Sports Network this season. Once again, tip-off for this nationally televised event is set for 8. Murray State leads the all-time series 40-10. The Eastern Illinois women's basketball team faced the defending OVC champs last night, and UT Martin sure looked like the team who won the conference last season. Skyhawks limited Eastern to under 40% from the field while forcing 20 turnovers en route to a blowout victory. UT Martin wins by 30, 81-51, improving to 6-0 in the Ohio Valley. Meanwhile, Eastern drops to 7-13 overall, although they're 4-3 in the conference. They return to action Saturday against Austin Peay. Indiana State men's basketball team also had a tough task, taking on nationally ranked Northern Iowa in the Missouri Valley Conference matchup. Sycamores continued their trend of playing well in the conference, hanging with the Panthers for most of the game. Only down by 3 with 1 minute left, Northern Iowa put the icing on the cake with a timely 3-point play. Seth Tuttle would make the free throw, giving the Panthers enough cushion for a 66-60 win. The loss for Indiana State drops them to below 500 at 9-10 overall, but the Sycamores are still 5-2 in the MVC. They'll try to rebound Saturday at home against Loyola. Illinois' list of injured would-be starters has gotten longer this week, but the Illini are finding ways to win more than they lose. Guard Aaron Cosby is out with up to 2 weeks with a torn retina. He joins leading scorer Ravonte Rice, who's been on the bench with a broken hand. And starting point guard Tracy Abrams is out for the season with a torn ACL. Wednesday's 66-57 win over Purdue is any indication, Illinois could play a 7-man rotation for now. Starting 5 includes a freshman, 3 sophomores, and just 1 senior. Illinois ends a 2-game homestand traveling to Minnesota on Saturday. These two teams did some traveling of their own, and one of them is a little happier today. Lakeland basketball teams played Ren Lake College trying to get better on the road. The Lady Lakers couldn't get the job done, losing 75-80 and dropping their 8th game of the season. It's a different story for the men's team, picking up a much-needed 76-64 road win, advancing to 7-9 this season as both teams resume play on Saturday. Lots of new transfers should make an exciting start for the 2015 for this football team. Eastern Illinois made some moves and added some new offensive weapons to this year's roster. They added defensive transfer in Jarvis Williams, a defensive lineman from California. Corey Patterson represents the lone freshman edition, a wide receiver from St. Louis, and Cal Ibanez is a 6'4" offensive lineman in his junior year coming from Florida. Team added 2 junior running backs, Corellis Marshall and Devin Church, and finally sophomore quarterback Mitch Kimball, 6'3", 180-pound transfer from Syracuse University. Some developing news from the racing world tonight. Four-time NASCAR champion Jeff Gordon announced earlier today he will retire as a full-time driver after the 2015 season. He spent his entire 20-year career with the number 24 car with Hendrick Motorsports. He delivered the news to his team at his shop in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jessica, Savannah, back to you.
Well, thank you, Lacey, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can always keep up with the Newswatch headlines by visiting WEIU.net.
Plus, connect with us on Facebook or on Twitter, where our handle is WEIU Newswatch. Excuse me.
And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@weiu.net.
Have a good night and join us again tomorrow here on the area's only local newscast on PBS.